What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video for my Omi homies, and as usual, there is a lot to talk about. We got the Disney rollout coming this weekend, starting with the golden moments. We've got some overall market news, some NFT news to discuss, along with some other Veve news, so stick around. There is a lot to discuss. If you like the content and you are an Omi homie, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great weekend. It's another historic weekend for Veve as they drop the first ever Disney NFT tomorrow morning in the form of a Simpsons golden moment. So we'll be talking more about those golden moments a little later. But first, I just wanted to start by recognizing that Veve is embarking on a series of historic moments. Last week, it was the first ever NFT digital stamp delivered by the US Post Office. Before that, it was the first ever movie ticket, that James Bond 007 movie ticket NFT. Before that, it was the first ever Marvel comic in the form of an NFT. Before that, it was the first Marvel collectible. That Spider-Man drop was the first of its kind. And so there can only be one first time. And in the world of collectibles, the first edition of something is always highly sought after. So I'm sure people are going to be all over this one tomorrow as it kicks off Disney's historic partnership with Disney. But first, I want to talk about the overall crypto market, which continues to gain mainstream adoption. Of course, there was some volatility over the weekend with Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiring, but things look to pick back up next week. But first, let's look at some things taking place in society. Newly elected New York Mayor Eric Adams has vowed to take his first 3 paychecks as mayor in Bitcoin. He's also vowed to make New York the center of crypto innovation. Now, I live in New York and we don't have access to a lot of crypto exchanges and a lot of crypto assets, so I'm hoping that starts to change next year. Eric Adams was followed by the mayor of Jackson, Tennessee, who also said that he wanted to make his city a hub for Bitcoin and other crypto. He's creating a blockchain task force that's looking into how the city of Jackson, Tennessee can accept property tax payments in Bitcoin and allow employees to DCA into Bitcoin. Then the mayor of Tampa jumped on board, stating that she would also be accepting her paycheck in Bitcoin. Of course, all of those mayors are following in the footsteps of Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, who was the first to say that he wanted to accept his salary in Bitcoin and make Miami the center of crypto. Then you've got Rand Paul questioning if crypto could become the world reserve currency, and Senator Ted Cruz proposing crypto as payment for vendors doing business on Capitol Hill. So what we're seeing is politicians finally coming around to crypto and acknowledging that this is the future of tech innovation. For years, they ignored it. For years, they talked down about it. But now they're coming around because they don't want to be left behind. Over the next 10 to 20 years, innovation will be driven by blockchain technology, similar to how innovation has been driven by the internet. So if you were too young or if you missed out on all the exciting projects coming out of the internet that made people a lot of money, you are now in a great position at this time in history to capitalize on the crypto boom. And I do believe that Omi is at the cross section of multiple sectors. They're in the NFT space. They're in that augmented reality space, which will grow exponentially over the next decade. And they are in the metaverse space, which will be one of the biggest industries of the next decade. yesterday, the CEO of EA Sports came out and stated that NFTs and play to earn are part of the future of the gaming industry and will in fact drive the gaming industry in the next decade. Today, the New York Times ran this article, "Crypto is cool, now get on the yacht." This was about the NFT.NYC conference in New York City earlier this week. The conference grew a record crowd of 5,000 people, plus had a 3,000 person wait list. Just another example of how fast this space is growing. And as fast as Veve is growing with all the new partnerships that they're rolling out on a weekly basis, none bigger so far than Disney, it's important to remember that we're still only in the first inning of this project. We're very, very early, and we're about to hit a milestone. We're about to hit a turning point in the development of this project when we migrate over onto the Ethereum network via Immutable X. And of course, this is taking longer than anticipated, and it has required patience, and it will require patience, but eventually it will happen, and hopefully it happens in the coming weeks, but it will happen, and when it does happen, it will set off a number of catalysts, and then we'll move into the top of the second inning, all right? But still, remember that we are early, and we are making history. Tomorrow afternoon in blind box format, $60 per box, you get the first ever Disney NFT in the form of The Simpsons. This is the common. This is the rare. The Simpsons will be followed by other golden moments, iconic characters. You've got Frozen, you've got Iron Man, you've got Wally, you've got C-3PO and R2-D2, and you've got the iconic Walt Disney holding hands with Mickey Mouse. And we're getting 130 million Disney Plus subscribers who will now have exposure to Veve. Add to that the 100 million people who are freeloading off of those paying customers and just taking their username and password to log in, and you're likely to have 250 million people who now will have exposure to Veve. And so Veve has never advertised, and part of the reason why they've never advertised is because they'd be advertising to empty shelves. All right, everything sells out instantly, and so you're onboarding all these people who will not have an opportunity to make a purchase because inventory is limited. However, they don't need traditional advertising because Disney is advertising for them. It's made headlines all over the place. Do a Google search with the words Disney Veve, and you'll see all of the news articles that have come out over the last week. Articles from Ledger Insights, Bitcoin News, Laughing Place, What's on Disney Plus, License Global, The Pop Insider, Coin Telegraph, Bitcoinist. So Veve and Omi are making more and more headlines. Yesterday, Taps Trades did a live stream where he talked about a new magazine article. The magazine was Inc., and they had a feature on Al Khan, his history in the collectibles industry, as well as what he's doing now with many of his ventures, including Veve. There was also a mention of Veve and their 007 NFT drop in a French newscast yesterday. So we're starting to see more and more of this, more and more exposure. And the same way that we're now seeing politicians talking about taking their paychecks in Bitcoin when they used to ignore Bitcoin, the same way we saw that, we're going to see more and more people start talking about and claiming Omi as their own. This, to me, is inevitable. We just have to continue to be patient as we wait for the completion of the Immutable X migration. Once it's done, we'll get on more exchanges, hopefully a major listing. That will give people access to the token, will create more daily trading volume, and bring more mainstream awareness in the crypto industry. But until then, we do have the Disney drops, followed by Designer Con coming next November 12th through the 14th. the Veve team will be participating in this event and dropping special collectibles. In another bit of news and something we have to keep our eye on, there will be more coins entering circulating supply as co-founder and advisor tokens are unlocked in the next week or so. And keep in mind that by Q1 2022, all available OMI tokens will be in circulation. Now, of course, if some of the co-founders and advisors decide to sell some of their tokens, it could lead to downward pressure on the OMI token. That would, however, be temporary, and it's not something that I'm overly concerned with. There will always be whales with any asset, be it stocks or crypto. There are always whales, and we are always at their mercy. But I look at times like that and volatility as a buying opportunity to fill out my position if I feel strongly in a project and if it is fundamentally sound. So let me know what you are thinking about these golden moments that are rolling out this weekend. Are you looking to cop some? Are you buying more OMI as we round out 2021? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you like the content, make sure you smash the like button. It really helps this young channel get out to more OMI homies and more viewers. Consider subscribing. I hope you all have a great weekend. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. I will see you in the next video.